What's up, y'all? This is like the 10th time I've done this video because I keep forgetting stuff. But this is my Suzuki 600. I bought it about a month ago, and I didn't know how to ride it, but I learned pretty quickly because within a few days I was on the interstate riding around. I love riding it. It's a great bike. A few days ago, it started giving me some issues. So what it was doing is when it's acting like it's not getting enough gas. So what I did is I came down here to the fuel switch, and it's on fuel on right now. So what I tried after I read the manual, I flipped it to reserve and started the bike, no problem, and rode it around for a little bit, just like around the neighborhood, because I didn't want to go too far because it was a little touchy. And it rode fine. And as soon as I flipped it, while I was riding, I flipped it to fuel on, and within like 10 seconds or so, it started to want to die out. So I flipped it back up to reserve, and everything is straightened itself back out. I was putting 93 in it, and right here, I don't know if you can see it, it says 87. So I'm not really sure if that has anything to do with why it's acting funny, but I will definitely find out. It's odd. So what this made me think is wrong is a clogged fuel line maybe. So I took the tank off and pulled the hoses off and the fuel filter and checked it. Everything was clear. So I put everything back together because I didn't want to dig too deep into it, because some of the hoses went into places like to where I couldn't see, and I didn't want to go pulling on stuff and breaking anything. So I just put it all back together, and I'm gonna take it to the shop, and they told me I need to get the carb rebuilt, so I'm gonna get the carb rebuilt on it, and hopefully that fixes the problem. It's easier to if you're gonna check the hoses, it's easiest to take the tank off, because there's not really much room down here to get to the hoses with anything. And yeah, so you just take the seat off and then come over here, and under the seat there's two 10mm bolts. Just take those out and then lift up the back of the tank and pull it towards you some, and it'll come right off. You just have to disconnect the hoses from the bottom of the tank, and there's a electrical connector over here, like right here underneath the tank, and then there's two other hoses, one here and one here, that need to come off to get the tank all the way off. That's about it with the tank. The first video, sorry for the poor video quality, but I'm using my phone. I wanted to use the camera, but I don't have a camera right now. The first video was supposed to be me doing the rear brake pads, which are right here, and I haven't done it yet because honestly I just haven't felt like it. But I haven't been using the back brake when I was riding before it started acting up, because I didn't want to like damage the rotor. I mean, it's already a little worn out. I mean, you know what I mean? So I didn't want to keep using that. I did the chain. I cleaned the chain and lubed it up, but it needs to be tightened, because as you can see, it's pretty slack. Look at that. That's just ridiculous. What's going on here? So yeah, I don't really want to mess with that, because you have to adjust this screw, and then there's another one on this side, and if you don't get them right, then you'll have issues. You see it's got the little markings right here, but I just don't want to mess with it. That's about it. I'm gonna do a video on this windshield because it vibrates a lot, and it's super annoying. So I want to take it out and see what I can do to keep it from vibrating a ridiculous amount, because yeah, like I said earlier, it's super annoying. um, that's about it with the bike. Oh, check this out. 10 days after I bought the bike, I dropped it. I pulled it out of my house and it wasn't sitting level. So when I got off of it, it leaned the opposite direction and hit my air conditioning unit. And that's what happened. So, well, I'm gonna get it fixed though. I'm gonna pull it and buy a dent puller. I'm gonna pull that out and then I'm gonna sand it all down and repaint it because I have the stuff to paint. And I'll make a video on that too. That way, I can show you guys how to fix the dent and paint the tank. That's about it. If y'all have any suggestions for future videos, any questions or anything like that, leave them in the comments. If you like the video, like it, subscribe, and share, I guess, if you want. I mean, it's up to you, bro. So I'll see y'all later, man.